Hi everybody, Giselle Grenier here from artplace.ca. In today's video, it's not really a lesson, it's just a quick tutorial on how I set up my Stay Wet palette. It costs just pennies to do it, and this is really good when you do it, especially when you're painting outside. My traditional palette is glass, but because of the reflections, I don't use glass on camera, and I figured, I've got a really beautiful piece of glass. I've got gray palette paper underneath, which makes mixing your colors much easier because this is more neutral. When you're painting on white palette paper, everything is darker than the white. This is more balanced. So I've got my paint out here, and if you've been following me for a while, you know that my full extended palette includes a phthalo green as well, and there's also like burnt umbers and raw umbers and some other colors. And as well, if I do portrait work, I will add in some cerulean blue. There's other colors to be added. So what I've done, and these the DecoArt premium acrylics is perfect for sizing, and ideally what I like to do is place the paints out dry when preparing my palette. And so I know that there's room to put my entire limited palette on the glass, but on the palette paper, not so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a Stay Wet palette really, really quick with stuff you already have. I guarantee you already have this paper towel. This is not a new technique. This is not new, but I've been getting emails from people because sometimes I don't show my palette on camera. They're saying, well, how do you set up your palette? Because I rarely have to mist my paints. You also can see my reflection right here while I'm talking. So all you do is get paper towel, good quality. This is Viva, good quality paper towel. Fold it into thirds. Okay. Then you're going to get another one, fold it into thirds. Now I'm going to cut mine because the palette paper is small. So what I end up with is a piece like this and a piece like that, and I've got an extra piece left over. What I like doing with the extra piece left over, I like putting it on this side to add a little bit of weight because this paper will curl. And then from there, all you do, take everything, put it into clean room temperature water. I don't like water for my palette to either be hot or cold. I like the room temperature. Open it up, put the seam underneath, and I'll just put this piece here. You don't have to use the extra piece, or you can, if you use it on glass, then you won't need to cut it. And that's it. Easy peasy. And then from there, you just put your colors out. Now for putting out the colors, I like to put them in the direction of a color wheel. So pretending this is a big palette, like on the glass, I actually have it in a U shape. So I'll have another piece right here. And the order, and I'm going to use the full palette of colors that I have to give you the idea. I have all the greens and blues here, reds, orange, and yellows here, and all my earth tones here, including white right in the corner if I was using the full palette. So thinking phthalo green or viridian, phthalo blue, I could add in cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, permanent alizarin crimson, or quinacridone violet. Then I get naphthol red light or pure red, or painting, well, not painting in oils on a wet palette, but the cadmium red lights would go up here. Then the oranges, either Paranone or vermilion hue, and then the yellow orange, which is Dairlid yellow, Hansa yellow medium, or Hansa yellow light, depending on what I'm painting. And then in this corner here would be the yellow ochre, and then if I was using the colors raw sienna, and I would definitely put burnt sienna, if I was using burnt umber, and if I was using raw umber. Black I rarely use on a palette unless it's really important, and titanium white I would usually put aside. So for full palette I would use the glass, but when on camera I use the palette paper because there's no reflection. And this here will stay, like right now, I believe with the humidity, I think it's about 36 degrees Celsius. So it's pretty hot in here. So this would dry quite quickly. What I have found, and I don't know why, it doesn't work with the DecoArt Traditions extender because that's a really fluid extender. But with the DecoArt Americana Premium, the extender medium, it's a gel. It's a gel. And what I found that works, and it could be because it creates a barrier, and I would just squeeze this, you know, I can even put it here. Where I put my paint, I just put a little bit of this where I'm going to be putting my paint pot, squeeze my paint out. And what it does is it doesn't make the paint, sometimes you put too much water in this and the water goes right into the paint and becomes very watery. This just creates a bit of a barrier, still being a wet palette, but it keeps the paint wet and not watery. I don't know, but I was only able to do it with this one. Just this one, not the Traditions one or Flow Medium, but that's it. Easy peasy. Then from there, put out the color. Also, when painting, if I find that I'm developing a bit of a skin on this, I can mist it with a little bit of water if need be, just a speck. So that's it. This is how I set up my wet palette. The only difference is glass in a U shape for the full palette, but on camera this way. So that's it. Easy peasy. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and you don't need to spend money on tons of commercial wet palettes. This is super for painting outside because you always bring paper towel if you're going to do some plein air painting. There's ones with sponges, with paper. That stuff can be expensive. Paper towel works just fine. Alrighty, so I'm going to prepare my palette now, and I'm going to get ready to film my next painting study. So until I see you in the next video, stay inspired.